Now we are discussing about how to develop e-content for a laboratory experiment. Generally, we prefer to develop e-content for classrooms, but developing e-content for laboratory experiments are also important. Now, when we start, try to make a template or try to make an agenda. So, how you are going to approach for a particular problem. Here I have developed one template by which you may follow or you can change it also. Now for programming with Python, a laboratory is there. For that I am creating the e-content or material. Let me write the first experiment is write a Python script that sum two integers. Now when I am explaining this, at the very beginning I must think that the student don't know anything. So what I need to do, I need to start from the scratch. It means I need to say, okay, if two numbers are given or two integers are given, I am going to sum them and I am going to print it. And after that I need to say the basic objective. By learning this particular program, what student will learn? So the student will learn the basic Python program and basic input output statement. Now comes the algorithm or flowchart that you need to give. Now here is the scope for the teacher. As a teacher, you need to explain the concept. It may be varying from concept to concept. It may be varying from area. It may be varying from branch. But we need to find a way out to experiment or to show how actually it is working. From a programming point of view, I need to give some kind of algorithm or flowchart in order to explain it. But instead of doing that, I am having one more software. Let me open it up and show you how it works. The software name is Flogorithm. Now you got this screen. You're having main and end. Now you can do here. If you click on the arrow, you can get a template that is used for any kind of a algorithm. Now when a student is going to sum two numbers, what he needs to do? First of all, he need to give a print statement or a display statement that will say enter the first value. So it means I need a output statement. If I'll click this, I can within double quote I can write enter first number. Now which number is that? I must declare it. What kind of declaration I must have? Let us say n is an integer. N is the first value, or let me say n1 is the first value and it is an integer data type. Okay, now I am going to give input. So what input I am giving? I am giving n1. Okay, the variable length. Similarly, the second input I need to give here enter second integer. Again I need to declare that integer. So for declaration I need to write here what? N2, second number as integer. Now I am going to save it in a variable. So again the variable need to be declared. Let us say n. I am saving the sum of these two. So before that I must read it. So here I will be saying n2. N2 came here. Now I am going to assign the value of n. The expression is n1 plus n2. The last statement is a output statement. Here I will write the sum is, what is the sum? The value I need is n. The sum is n. Now the algorithm is done, the flowchart is done, but what is new in this particular software? In this particular software I can execute this flow. Now let us see. Now n2 was not declared, came here, so here I am having n1, again I have written, so it's supposed to be n2, and here again it's supposed to be n2. Okay, again run it. Now you see it is asking me n1 number, let us say 3, and n2 number it is asking 2, and I got 5. It means the flowchart is executed. This is not all. I can see each and every step how it is executing. Now I'll slow down the run little bit. I'll slow down the run little bit and show you how. Now look at this. When this statement is executing, it is waiting for me. I am giving 7, and the next statement again came n2. When it is asking for n2's execution, it is waiting for me. I am giving 6, and next n is defined, n value calculated, and the sum is written here as 13. You see each and every step of the program is got executed, and I got the output. This is not all in this software. Let me show you one more thing. Now if I want to execute it, the same program, how the variable got changed, that also I can track. Let me stop this execution. Again let me run it. Now whenever I am running, n1 is uninitialized, now it is saying, and it is waiting for me for a value, let us say 99, and again I got one more variable, so n2 need to be initialized. Right now it is uninitialized. Well, I'll put the value, it will be getting initialized. The value of n2 become 5. Now the result, I got 104, and it got executed. Up to this it is fine, very nice, but it is not all for this particular software. Let me expand it a little bit. Now if I want to show here, if I want to write the code, now I can generate the code also. If I'll click here, you see Ada, Bash, C#, C++, Fortran, Java, MATLAB, Ruby, Python, QBasic, all these programming languages, Smalltalk, everything, all these programming languages code will be getting generated. Now again I am going to run it. Now you see whatever is getting executed, that particular statement is also getting invoked here. So the people will learn, if I'll write what is the respective code I am generating. Okay, you see print, and it got printed. Okay, now if somebody want to check, if I am writing this statement, what is the corresponding statement in Python? So this is the corresponding statement I can find. If I am writing in read input, what is the corresponding statement? This is the corresponding statement in Python. Similarly, I can find the code. Okay, if I want to save this code, I can save it in .py file. Always it will be saved in Python program .py file. Let me save it in program name is A. Okay, let us say I am writing it here in sum, and it is there in my document, my document folder. Okay, similarly this code also, what you can do, you go to tool and you can find the you can take the clip of the image and you can paste anywhere you want it to. Okay, now it is got saved. Discard the changes. Okay, let it be. Now I can post it there, and let me execute the code that I have got generated. Okay, I'll go to my document and the code was A, or it was sum, no? Okay, sum. Now you can open this file. You can open this file with, let us say, any editor. This is the code you got. Okay, now the path may not be same, that's why you create a new file, paste it here, and you can save in a particular folder where you wanted to have it. Okay, now let it be file name is same in the location where I wanted to. Now I want to execute. Now here is the program, you can run it, and when you will be running, it is asking first number, you gave 44, second number 7, you got the sum. So in this way you will be writing your program. So it got executed. Now after it got executed, you can explain the algorithm, and you can show the code, and you can show the output. Afterwards you can say the student could verify how the look and feel of the program, how to run it, and student learned the input output statement. Like that you can give. And similarly, if it is possible, you can enhance the problem if possible, depending on your branch, depending on the situation, and then you can have your a enhanced program you can give, if at all possible, so that student will be learning fast whatever concept you are teaching. I'm not saying that okay, this particular software only will be working for this particular thing. So you need to find a particular tool in order to explain the student, so that it goes to their mind very fast. That is the objective. What tool is there for your branch or your subject, you need to find it out. Thank you very much.